So today we've got ourselves the ultimate NHL tournament. I've got all 32 NHL teams. I went ahead and simulated a season and they got seeded 1 through 32. I'm going to put all these teams into one bracket. It's single elimination, and whichever team comes out on top is going to be our champion today. So I've gone ahead, put every single team onto our bracket here, and we've got our first matchup, and that's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. I think we know who the clear favorite in this game is. Of course, it's the Blackhawks. So let's just hop into this matchup right here, and right off the rip, Chicago and Toronto are going to be exchanging goals in the first period, and in the second, Toronto's going to be taking a 1-goal lead with the help of goals from O'Reilly and Achari. So Toronto's going to be picking up 2 quick goals in the third period, and really, I don't think anyone's surprised at the outcome of this matchup. Toronto's going to be taking this one 5-2. I mean, there's still 10 minutes left in the third period here, but let's be completely honest. The Leafs aren't going to be blowing this lead. It's not like they've ever blown 3-1 leads before. And just like that, they're taking this one 5-2. No surprises here. And you know what? Let's make this video a bit more interesting. If I hit 47,000 subscribers in the next 24 hours, if any player scores a hat trick in today's video, I'll buy their jersey. And I really hope that doesn't happen because I want to have to make more poor financial decisions. Also, if we hit 2,500 likes, I'll give you 48 hours. How does that sound? Now, our next matchup is going to be a very interesting one as these two teams just finished beside each other in the standings. We have the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Calgary Flames. Now, low-key, I have absolutely no clue how these two teams finished side by side in the standings once I simulate the season, but they did, and right now we're tied through 2 periods. It's 3-3. The third period is going to be a massive one. Okay, we've got a lot of goals here, and I keep contradicting myself because I keep saying this team has the lead, now this team has the lead. It's 5-5. There's what, 6 minutes left here? No, this one's going right down to the wire. And with time winding down the third period, it doesn't look like either team's going to be able to pick up another goal, so we're headed to overtime unless Nichushkin scores here. He's not gonna. Okay, there's 0.9 seconds left. Colorado's not going to score in 0.9 seconds. We're off to overtime. And with Colorado on the power play in overtime, you already know they're going to go to work. Newhook's going to be securing the loose puck. He's going to dish over to Evan Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, he's not going to be messing up here. He's going to bury it in the back of the net. And Colorado's off to the next round. No cap, Calgary put up a much bigger fight than I was expecting from them. I was thinking they were going to get smoked like 5-1 or something. But a 6-5 game, that's pretty interesting. Now we're moving on to our next matchup. We have the Dallas Stars taking on the Florida Panthers. So I kind of find it ironic that the team that made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final after the season resimulation, they finished 24th in the entire league. Also, a lot of these games have been incredibly close so far. I know we're only on game 3 right now, but the fact that there hasn't really been a true blowout yet, what am I talking about? The very first game was 5-2 for Toronto. And then this game's turning into a blowout as we speak. I'm just making up facts. What am I talking about? All right, it's a 1-goal game. 2 minutes left. Florida's down 3-4. I think there's potential for a comeback here. There's enough time left on the clock here, and there's potential for a comeback. So we gotta jump into this one. 2:16 left. This could really go anyone's way. So it looks like Wyatt Johnson's gonna be burying the empty netter here. He's gonna finish this game up for the Dallas Stars, and they're gonna be taking it 5-3. So after talking about how our matches have been so close so far, Dallas is gonna take down the Florida Panthers 6-3. Isn't that ironic? But now we have a fantastic matchup. The number 8 seeded LA Kings are taking on the 25th seeded St. Louis Blues. Now I think they're disrespecting St. Louis here. They probably should be 23. Maybe even 22, but 25's OD. So of course, the St. Louis Blues, although they're the underdog here, they're going to smoke the LA Kings. I mean, it's almost guaranteed. Why are they losing 2-1 heading into the third period? That doesn't seem right. So Nick Lay's going to be picking up a goal in the third period. He's going to even it up, but Victor Arvidsson's going to score a couple seconds later. Oh, I was going to say it's a 1-goal game, but it's 2 goals. 2 goals, a minute 20 left. I think this one's over. You know what? We're not even going to jump into this one. Can St. Louis really make the comeback? I don't think they can. I don't really have faith in them like that. We're going to simulate the rest of the game. The LA Kings are taking us down 4-2. I'm going to be completely honest here. I was gassing them up for absolutely no reason, but Robert Thomas did pick up a goal just a minute 5 seconds into the game. So, I mean, if that's not a win, I don't know what is. I really got to stop gassing St. Louis up like that. I'm just setting that team up for failure. So far, we haven't really seen any wild upsets. And Philly, are you going to be the first team to complete an upset here? Taking down the New York Rangers? Not a chance. Nope. This game's over right off the bat. Didn't even need to pay attention to what was going on. Right after that first period, I knew the Rangers were taking this one. This was by far our fastest simulation. After I saw that 3-goal lead, I knew it was wraps. No, like real talk, Philly, this was an absolute waste of time simulating this matchup. I was expecting you guys were going to put on a show here, make it competitive, but nah, 3 goals in the first period. Nashville, can you go on to create an upset here? Also, Vegas finished 12th. The Stanley Cup champions, 12th in the entire league. Interesting. So one of the Stanley Cup finalists have already fallen. Now Vegas is up. Are they going to be the second Stanley Cup finalist to fall? I mean, I guess there only was 2 finalists. What am I talking about here? Nashville's got a 3-1 lead entering the third period, though. I mean, Vegas has a ton of talent here. There is a chance they make a comeback, but right now it's not looking good for them. So Jonathan Marchessault, he's picking up a power play goal with 9 minutes left in the game. It's a 1-goal game. And honestly, this is really close. Never mind. Smith is picking up a goal. Then Cody Glass is picking up a goal. It looks like the team that won the Stanley Cup in the Vegas Golden Knights is going to be falling. And this is technically our first upset of the video, with Nashville taking down Vegas, the 21st seed taking down 12. Nah, real talk. We got a tournament going here. We finally got an upset, because so far it's just been the favorite every single game. But now things are getting interesting. In this matchup, we got a battle of the poverty franchises. The Vancouver Canucks taking on the Arizona Coyotes. And the reason I call Vancouver a poverty franchise is they have so much talent on that team, but somehow they just screw it up. Like every year, they just somehow make themselves worse and worse, and it doesn't make sense to me. Is there really an underdog? I don't think so. I would say they're actually pretty even. They're split in the first period. It's 1-1. No scoring's happening in the second. So far, this has been the most boring game we've watched today. And yeah, are we really surprised? Look at these two teams, Arizona and Vancouver. I mean, I can't really be saying too much. Vancouver finished ahead of St. Louis in the standings, and Arizona was what, 4 or 5 spots back of us? Vancouver, you've got yourselves a lead late in this game. 1 minute left. It's a 1-goal game. We better jump into this one. Maybe Arizona can make the comeback. Clayton Keller, can you pull off some magic here? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but probably not. It's Arizona. So we got 23 seconds left. Arizona's got the empty net. All Vancouver really has to do is clear the puck from their own zone, and they'll probably win this matchup. But what are they going to do? Pass it in front of the net and then immediately turn it over in the corner. Clayton Keller's got the puck. They're battling along the boards. Okay, just clear the puck and you'll win this game. That's all you have to do. Okay, Vancouver's got it in the bag now because they're not scoring with 4 seconds left. And just like that, Vancouver's taking this one 2-1. By far the most boring matchup we've seen today. Ironically, I actually don't hate either of these teams, but the way I was talking about them, you would think I despise Vancouver and Arizona. I'm actually very neutral on them. I mean, I don't like Arizona because I feel like they've had so much potential with all the guys they've been drafting. Like what? They had the 5th overall pick or 6th overall pick this year, and they drafted somebody projected in the 2nd round. Like, what were you thinking? Nonetheless, we got Vancouver taking on the Buffalo Sabres, who finished 29th in the league, 3rd last. How is Buffalo that bad? I have absolutely no clue. So although Buffalo finished 29th in the entire league and Tampa was 4th, if Buffalo beats them, I wouldn't really consider that an upset. Okay, it's 4-2. Yeah, never mind. Tampa's destroying them 7-4. Did anyone pick up a hat trick here? Because if someone picked up a hat trick, as you know, I gotta buy their jersey. Nobody's picking up a hat trick here, so my bank account's staying safe for another matchup. Kucherov did pick up 4 points in that matchup, but he didn't pick up a hat trick, and that's what we were looking for. No, but seriously, Buffalo, you let me down there. I was expecting this to be a massive upset. The 29th seed beating the 4th. Wouldn't that have been a fantastic story? But instead, they're getting absolutely smoked. Like, this game wasn't close by any means. Now we're moving on to the second half of our first round matchups, and that's going to be the New York Islanders taking on the Detroit Red Wings. So after our last matchup, when I was hoping for an upset, it didn't really happen. Can the Detroit Red Wings be the team to complete the massive upset? I think they can, because right now they have a 2-1 lead entering the 3rd period. The 30th seed beating the 3rd seed. The Islanders were able to score early into the 3rd period, so right now it's tied 2-2. We got 40 seconds left into this game, and unless someone comes out as the hero here, we're going to be headed to overtime. And also, Bo Horvat just got absolutely lit up. So Detroit is putting a lot of pressure on right now in the offensive zone, but it looks like the puck's going to be tied up against the boards, and they got it free, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Time's winding out, and we're headed to overtime. It's not going to take long in overtime, and the Islanders are immediately going to work. Zach Parise is bringing the puck into the offensive zone. He's going to dish it over to Bo Horvat. Then some nice passing is going to find Horvat once again, and he's scoring the winner. Now, low-key, EA did a fantastic job seeding these teams, because so far we've only seen one upset. Every single matchup so far has gone towards the favorite, so in our next matchup, I'm guessing the Ottawa Senators are going to be taking this one, just based off what's been going on. So can the New Jersey Devils join the Nashville Predators as the only team to complete upsets today? And so far it's looking good. They got a 3-0 lead heading into the 3rd period. I think it's safe to say this game's all wrapped up. That's exactly what's happening. New Jersey's taking this one, a 3-0 victory, and they're eliminating the Ottawa Senators. So it's one thing to be eliminated, and it's another thing to be eliminated by the underdog, but to be shut out by the underdog? No, that's a tough look for Ottawa Senators fans. I'm just going to keep it 1,000. In our next matchup, we're going to see 2 Western Conference teams. We got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, Ottawa, we're just moving on from you real quick. We don't need to discuss what happened. So in this matchup, I'm going with the Winnipeg Jets because I just highly doubt we're going to see back-to-back upsets, especially with how this video has been going so far. But so far, we simulated through 2 periods and still 1-goal game. Also, the defense is basically non-existent. 30 shots for Seattle and 28 for Winnipeg early in the 3rd period. Neither of these teams are playing defense, but Nemestikov, he's going to be picking up another goal here, and Winnipeg's got a commanding 2-goal lead. So with 6 minutes left in the 3rd period, Mark Scheifele's going to be picking up a goal here. It's a 3-0 lead for the Winnipeg Jets. They're going to finish this one out. They're taking in a 3-0 victory. Now see, the Seattle Kraken might have got shut out here, but at least they weren't the favorite. But even still, getting shut out in single elimination, it's just not a good look. It really isn't. Moving on to our next matchup, the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Keep in mind, this is a healthy Columbus Blue Jackets team, but then again, a healthy Columbus team did just finish 27th in the resimulation, so who really knows how good this team is? So really, I have no clue what type of Columbus team we're going to be seeing in this matchup. Are we going to see a healthy Columbus team that can compete with the best of the league? Or are we just going to get the mid Columbus team that can't really do too much? I don't know. So far it's 3-1 heading into the third period. In Columbus, you've taken 13 shots. Alright, we got the mid Columbus team. I think that's pretty easy to figure out. I was going to say I might have to take that back, but literally 14 seconds after they scored, Russ scored a goal, so I mean, it's still a 2-goal game. No, Columbus is really folding here. So with just a few minutes left in this game, there's no point in waiting for it to end. We're just going to simulate the rest of it, and it looks like Pittsburgh's taking this one 5-2. We didn't need to jump into this game. It was clear who was taking this one home. Also, we were very close to a hat trick. Malkin picked up 2 goals, but he wasn't able to pick up another in the third period. We'll have to keep watching for that. Sometimes I completely forget that I set that challenge. I'm also praying that nobody scores a hat trick. I don't want to waste my money here. With that win from the Pittsburgh Penguins, we're heading into our final 4 matchups of the first round, and now we have the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Montreal Canadiens. I almost want to give Carolina the win right now because I think it's almost guaranteed, but you never know in single elimination. We'll have to wait on this one. So here we go. Maybe Montreal can actually complete the upset. I mean, I'm betting against them. I got all my chips with the Carolina Hurricanes right now, and right now Montreal's got 2 goals and both of them are coming from the defense. David Sfard and Joel Edmondson. Before I simulate this matchup, I definitely wouldn't have expected both of those guys to score goals, and I definitely wouldn't have thought Montreal would have a 4-goal lead. We're just going to simulate the rest of the period. Shutout. The Carolina Hurricanes just got shut out to the Montreal Canadiens. That is possibly the worst way you could have gone out. I had all my bread on the Carolina Hurricanes winning this matchup. I even said before the matchup, I might as well just give them the win now. But here's Montreal taking them down. I guess you can never count out those Montreal Canadiens. But one team I am counting out and I refuse to believe is going to win is the San Jose Sharks. If you lose this matchup, you got to relocate. I think that's the only logical solution. All right, Edmonton, you have all the pressure on you right now. If San Jose loses, no one would be shocked by that. Wow. That is interesting. This is worse than the Carolina loss. This is a million times worse than Carolina losing to Montreal. You didn't even score a goal. McDavid didn't score. Draisaitl didn't score. Hyman, Nuge, Evander Kane, Ekholm, Nurse. No one could find the back of the net. You got shut out to the San Jose Sharks. And you know what else makes this even worse? In the next round, this is a matchup we need to watch. We need to watch Montreal versus San Jose. Nobody wants to watch that. Not even Montreal and San Jose fans want to watch that. No one wants to witness that matchup. Minnesota, you're taking on Washington. You guys were pretty close in the standings. This one could go either way. So in this matchup, we get to witness 2 of the best Russian players in the game right now, Alexander Ovechkin and Kirill Kaprizov. Which guy's going to be coming out on top? Okay, hold on here. You're telling me Ryan Reeves is going to be the guy scoring the first goal of the game here? Ryan Reeves. If Ryan Reeves somehow scored a hat trick and he was the guy who I had to get a jersey of, no, like that's not happening. Minnesota's going to take this one 4-1. Kaprizov's not even scoring a goal, but out of any player to score the first goal of the game, Ryan Reeves. How many goals has Ryan Reeves scored in the past 2 seasons, maybe even 3 seasons? I don't have anything against Ryan Reeves, don't get me wrong. I actually love Ryan Reeves. St. Louis legend. He was there for some good years, and then we went through a bad couple years, and then we won a Stanley Cup. So I mean, we went through some ups and downs. I mean, he wasn't there for the Stanley Cup, but I mean, Ryan Reeves, a true St. Louis legend. Now we have this matchup. This is probably the most interesting matchup we're going to see today for one reason only. I did a video where I put every single team in the playoffs, and this was one of the matchups, the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Boston Bruins. That one had an incredibly interesting outcome. I'm very curious to see if we get the same outcome today. So I'm not really going to say too much about this matchup because we do have a clear favorite here. And I think it should be pretty obvious. Okay, the clear favorite's dominating this game. 7 goals were scored. Somebody had to have picked up a hat trick. Never mind, it was just pure depth scoring for the Boston Bruins that's winning them this game. Ironically, Anaheim also outshot them 34-31, but yet Boston's the team that's scoring 7 goals. I mean, losing a game 7-1 is one thing, but losing a game 7-1 when you outshot the other team, no, that's actually like one of the stupidest things to comprehend, but it doesn't matter. We're on to our second round matchups, and we're starting off with a great one. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Colorado Avalanche. So ideally, since we didn't have a ton of upsets in the first round, all these second round matchups could really go either way. I mean, Colorado versus Toronto. Toronto's the 1 seed, Colorado's the 16th. I mean, I wouldn't say Toronto's incredibly favored here, but so far they have a 1-goal lead heading into the third period, so they might be able to pull this one out. So Nathan McKinnon was able to pick up a goal at the 4-minute mark, so we have a tie game here with a minute 30 left. It really has a chance to go either way. If Colorado wins this one, it's technically an upset, but I wouldn't really classify this as an upset. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. Now, I was expecting this game to go to overtime, but that's not exactly what's happening. Kerfoot's going to dish the puck towards the front of the net. It's going to take a few deflections before John Tavares buries the go-ahead goal. And in the final seconds of this game, Cal Yarko has a chance at a wide open net. He's going to miss it though. Mitch Marner's going to pick up the puck behind the net. This game's over as long as Toronto can put it in the back of the net. Oh my god, Lehkonen, a breakaway, has a chance to tie this game up, and he's going to fold. Colorado, you had one last opportunity, and Arturi Lehkonen's going to fold like that. You hate to see it. And just like that, the Toronto Maple Leafs are our first team moving on to the Elite Eight. Now we have our next matchup, and that's going to feature the Dallas Stars taking on the LA Kings. So similar to our last matchup, Dallas and LA, this is going either way. Never mind, Dallas has got it. Yeah, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself here. After Dallas picked up the first 3 goals of the game, LA is going to respond. They're picking up 3 of their own, and now we're in the third period in a tied 3-3 game. This game's all over the place so far. Quinton Byfield's going to be picking up a massive goal halfway through the third period, and it looks like we're entering the final minutes in a 1-1 game, so I better jump in. A 1-1 game. What am I talking about? We're entering the final minutes in a 1-goal game. Honestly, sometimes the brain compartments and departments just aren't working for me, and this is a prime example. Korpisalo just made a massive save with 30 seconds left. I was not paying attention. Like, I have YouTube going at the same time while I have the CPU playing here because I could not be bothered to watch the CPU play. But Korpisalo with the massive save. Nah, he's keeping LA in this game right now. So here we go with 6.7 seconds left in the game. Korpisalo's been standing on his head. I mean, we saw that save. He's the only reason that LA is still in this game. It's also 6-on-4 right now, so all LA has to do is clear the puck, and that's exactly what Drew Doughty's going to do, and LA's taking this one 4-3. So in the next round, LA is going to be taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs as that matchup's already set, but now we're moving on to our next one, and that's going to feature the Rangers taking on the Nashville Predators. So it's not going to take long before we see a bit of goal scoring in this matchup, as Jimmy Vesey's going to be picking up the first goal of the game just 2 minutes in, and Lafreniere, he's going to be picking up another one in the first, so the Rangers have themselves a 2-0 lead. And in the second, it doesn't look like we're going to see any goal scoring, so we're heading into the third period in a 2-0 game for the Rangers. And in the final seconds of this game, Tarasenko's going to bring the puck into the offensive zone. I have no clue why he's not going to put the puck on net, but I think it's safe to say the Rangers are taking this one. Like, real talk. Okay, someone's scoring empty net here. Okay, Miller, I have no clue what you're doing. Like, you literally just turned the puck over in the neutral zone. Nonetheless, the Rangers are going to be taking this one. Tarasenko, you have another chance here. Oh, never mind, you're going to get lit up. Now, I understand I said a majority of these matchups in the second round wouldn't really feature an underdog. I think it's safe to say the Vancouver Canucks are definitely an underdog against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Nashville Predators and New York Rangers matched up way better than the Lightning versus the Canucks. Now, I understand I've been ripping on the Vancouver Canucks a lot in this video, so I think it's time for them to shut me up and beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we're entering the third period and Tampa's got a 1-0 lead here, but it looks like I can continue to run my mouth because Perbix is going to be picking up a goal here, and it's 2-0 heading into the final 10 minutes. Okay, there's 50 seconds left. I'm not going to bother jumping into this game. Tampa's taking it 2-0. I mean, I could have jumped in case Vancouver made the comeback, but it was pretty clear that this was Tampa's game from start to finish. It's kind of hard to say the New Jersey Devils are an underdog in this matchup, although they finished 19th in the season resim. In real life, they finished, what, 6th or 7th? They were a really good team, so I wouldn't really classify as any of these teams being an underdog. So in saying all that and hyping up the New Jersey Devils, you boys better not get blown out here. Like, if the Islanders smoke you 7-0 or something, then that's not going to be a good look on me, but it's a 1-goal game heading into the third period. I appreciate a lot of these games being close. I mean, even if it's a 2-0 game, I mean, it's only 2 goals. Because what, the Boston Bruins beat the Ducks 7-2 or 7-3 or something? That game wasn't close from the very start. These second round matchups, they've all been fairly close. And a shout out to Anders Lee for picking up another goal. It's 2-0 right now, but Nico Hischier going to make this a 1-goal game. We're entering the final minute here. We better jump in. So with 5.1 seconds left, the Devils are going to get one last opportunity, but the Islanders are going to be able to clear the puck from the zone. Paul Mary's going to try to score from center ice. Okay, how'd you miss the net by that much? Like, I understand it didn't really matter if you scored there, but still, how did you miss by that much? You weren't really shooting from that far of a distance. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. What are you doing? So we have ourselves one last match before the absolute dumpster fire in the next. We got the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Winnipeg Jets. And you might be wondering, why am I calling the next matchup an absolute dumpster fire? It's this one. Nobody wants to watch this one. So to start this matchup off, Pittsburgh's going to be taking the early lead as they're picking up 2 goals in the first period. And after a scoreless second, we're entering the third period in a 2-0 game. How many of our past matchups have been 2-goal games? But never mind, this is no longer a 2-goal game. It's tied up at 2-2. 2. 10 minutes left in the period. Yeah, that changed real quick. So Nick Bonino's going to be scoring with about 2 minutes left in the game. It's 55 seconds left. We got to jump into this one. Shout out to Nick Bonino for giving Pittsburgh the lead. The true star on this team. With time winding down in this game, Petrie's got the puck in the defensive zone. Bro, get it to somebody and just get it out of your zone. Okay, Archibald's going to probably pick up the empty netter here. Okay, good, he did. If he missed that net, we would have had to have a discussion here on the AI just completely missing wide open nets all the time. Because it feels like that happens way too much, but who really cares? NHL 24 is around the corner. So after that very enjoyable matchup, watching the Pittsburgh Penguins win, we have to move on to this abomination. The Montreal Canadiens taking on the San Jose Sharks. I think the worst part about this matchup is one of these two teams is going to be making the Elite Eight. Like, we're going to be forced to watch one of these teams again. So of course, we got to get through this matchup as quick as possible, because not a single person wants to watch it. I know I'm just ripping on these two teams right now, and actually, you know what? I don't want to watch this matchup so much. I'm just simulating the third period, and wow, the San Jose Sharks are actually smoking the Montreal Canadiens. It's a battle of poverty franchises right now. I mean, I can't be ripping on the Montreal Canadiens as much as I am. You guys aren't a poverty franchise. You had Mark Bergevin as your GM. That's your problem. You know what? For the rest of this video, we're going to be more positive. I'm going to be positive about the matchups we're going to be seeing. The Minnesota Wild versus the Boston Bruins. Two fantastic teams. Two playoff teams. Neither of them really saw a ton of playoff success though. So here we go. A matchup that could really go either way. After the first period, we're not going to see either team picking up a goal. But in the second, Boston's offense is going to explode. They're picking up 4. And we might as well simulate the rest of the game because I don't think Minnesota is going to be able to make the comeback. They're not going to be able to. And it looks like the Boston Bruins are taking this matchup. And with that win from the Boston Bruins, our Elite 8 matchups are set. We got the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the LA Kings, the Rangers taking on the Lightning, Islanders versus Penguins, and then the Boston Bruins taking on the San Jose Sharks. And you already know how this round's going to be starting off. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the LA Kings. This is some unseen ground from the Toronto Maple Leafs. The third round, they made through the first round taking down the Blackhawks. They made through the second round taking on the Colorado Avalanche. But now you're in the third round, the Elite 8. You haven't been here in a handful of years. And when I say a handful, I mean like decades. It's been a long time. But here you are, you're currently down 2-0 now. I was going to say 1-0, but hey, William Nylander, he's going to keep you in this game. Cal Yarcrow's also keeping you in this game. We got a lot of scoring here in like the past 1 minute or 3 minutes, whatever's happening. We got a 2-2 game. We're entering the final minutes here. We better jump into this one. And in the final seconds of the third period, neither team has a ton of offensive pressure right now. So it looks like we're going to need some overtime. Now with this goal, I'm still not 100% sure what happened. Mark Giordano's going to tee one up from the point, and William Nylander's going to get a stick on it. Eventually, it's going to find its way to the back of the net, and Willie scoring the game winner. So Toronto, congratulations. You made it to the Final Four, but I can guarantee that the next team you're taking on is definitely going to be your toughest task. It's either going to be the New York Rangers or the Tampa Bay Lightning. Two absolutely elite teams, two teams that have a ton of depth. Between this matchup and the winner taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs, those are going to be two fantastic games to watch. So here we go. The winner of this matchup's taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa's taking the first period 2-1, but in the second, it looks like the New York Rangers offense is going to be exploding. They're picking up 3 straight goals, and they've got themselves a 4-2 lead entering the third period. But as we know, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're not going to be going down easy. Tanner Janot's going to be picking up a goal. It's a 1-goal game, and at the 2-minute mark, we'll jump into this matchup. Never mind, it's 142. Same difference if you ask me. All right, Rangers, net is empty once again. Are you guys going to be able to score in the empty net this time? It looks like you are. Show it to Adam Fox. He's going to bury it in the back of the net. And now you advance to the Final Four, and you're going to be taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So with the top half of our bracket already filled out, it's time to move on to our next matchup, and it's going to be the New York Islanders taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. So far, Kyle Palmieri is the only guy that's been able to pick up a goal so far. We're entering the final 10 minutes in a 1-0 game for the Islanders. They have a chance to move on to the Final Four, and it looks like that's going to be happening. Never mind, I jinxed them. New York Islanders fans, that's my fault. I'm going to take that one on the chest here. That is completely my fault. We're entering overtime. That's all on me. If I didn't say anything about you guys being a couple minutes away from reaching the Final Four, then you would have been perfectly fine. But I had to bring that up, and right as I did, the Penguins scored, and now we're in overtime. I'll take all the blame for that one. Okay, but I'm not taking the blame for that. You guys picking up a penalty in the first 10 seconds of the period. No, that's your guys' fault. I'm not taking the blame for that. And I have some good news for New York Islanders fans. That slashing penalty that Zach Parise took is not going to hurt you guys. You're still going to find a way to come out on top, and you're off to the Final Four. With Anders Lee being the OT hero, the Islanders have made it all the way to the Final Four, and now they have to take on either the San Jose Sharks or the Boston Bruins. If the San Jose Sharks win this video somehow, I'll buy an Erik Karlsson jersey because I know they'll be on sale. San Jose, you better not win. Alright, we're cheering for the Boston Bruins here just because I do not want to buy a San Jose Sharks jersey, and I think it's pretty clear why. I'm not wasting my money on that. Okay, Boston. We're entering the third period and you've only scored 1 goal. I'm not expecting you to blow them out of the water here, but I'm expecting you to blow them out of the water here. Like, let's be completely honest here. Like, what are we talking about? It's the Boston Bruins taking on the San Jose Sharks. I'm not messing around. Let's simulate the rest of this game. Boston's going to be shutting them out 3-0. The fact that y'all didn't score 7 goals here is actually very disappointing to me. But hey, shout out to the Boston Bruins for not making me buy a San Jose Sharks jersey. I feel like I've been all over the place with this video, but here we are in the Final Four. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the New York Rangers, and then the Islanders taking on the Bruins. We're starting with the Leafs versus the Rangers. I also kind of find it very ironic that the number 1, 2, and 3 seed made it all the way to the final, and the only team that didn't was Tampa Bay, as they were the 4, but they lost to the Rangers. So is the season simulation actually incredibly accurate right now? We haven't had very many upsets except for like the San Jose one, and I guess there was the Nashville upset, but I mean, we reached the Final Four with the number 1, 2, 3, and 5th seed. Who would have thought EA was incredibly accurate? So the winner of this matchup is going to reach the Stanley Cup Final, or the NHL 23 Tournament Final, whatever you want to call it. Toronto's picking up the first 2 goals of the game, and it's coming from Sam Lafferty and Michael Bunting. Out of all the players on the Toronto Maple Leafs, I did not expect those 2 guys to be carrying the weight right now. 17 minutes left in the game. We're in the third period. They've got themselves a 2-0 lead still. Never mind. The St. Louis legend and Vladimir Tarasenko's picking up a goal for the Rangers. It's a 1-goal game now with 10 minutes left in the game. The Rangers are on the power play again, but that's not really going to matter. We're entering the final 6 minutes here. If this game stays close, we might have to jump into it. Okay, that's incredibly close actually. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, the Rangers are taking this one 3-2. Toronto's collapsing in the third period, blowing a 2-0 lead. Why does that just seem like perfect Toronto fashion? To blow a 2-0 lead in the third period, allowing 3 unanswered, including a goal at the 3-minute mark and then the minute 22 mark. And out of all players, Alexis Lafreniere is going to be scoring the winner. He's the hero here. Ain't no way. So we might not be jumping into that matchup because it's all set. The Rangers are off to the final, and now we got to see who they're taking on. Is it going to be the New York Islanders? Are we going to have New York versus New York, or are we going to have New York versus Boston? No matter what happens here, we're going to have a classic matchup. So here we go. Winners off to the final. The New York Islanders taking on the Boston Bruins. Oh yeah, we got New York versus New York. Okay, I gotta stop speaking so early. Like, the New York Islanders, I've been screwing this team. Every single time they have a lead, I'm like, you know what? They've got it in the bag. And then what happens? It gets competitive and they almost lose. But they don't actually lose. They just get very close to losing. Okay, it's 5-2. It should be over. That's exactly what's happening. We got the New York Rangers taking on the New York Islanders in our final. Now, if you told me at the beginning of this video, our final would feature the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders, I wouldn't have been necessarily surprised, but I would have been shocked that it was both New York teams. Like, I mean, the Rangers, they're a great team. The Islanders, they're also a good team. But to have both of these New York teams make it to the final at the exact same time, meaning they were in opposite sides of the bracket, pretty surprising. But nonetheless, we have a great matchup for our final, so let's get right into it. So here we go. It's a single knockout. Our final 2 teams, the Islanders versus the Rangers. One of these teams is going to be taking home the championship, and right now it's going all the way down to the wire. A 2-2 game entering the third period. Who's going to come out the hero? I actually don't really care. I'm fine with either of these teams winning. So far, it's been back and forth the entire third period. It's still tied 2-2. We've got a minute 10 seconds left. If we're not able to find a winner here, we're off to overtime. And I think that's the perfect way to end it. And in their third overtime matchup of the game, the New York Islanders are once again going to find a way to come out on top. Bo Horvat's going to be bearing the game winner, and the Islanders are champions. I also find it incredibly ironic that I ripped on the Vancouver Canucks for so long in this video, and Bo Horvat of all players was able to pick up 2 game winners. I don't know why that's happening, but that's just seems to be the perfect ending.